Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. My name is Amista, and I'm here today to catch up with some of my regulars, to meet some new people. We're going to do a little bit of tarot. We're going to do a little bit of Reiki. And we're just generally going to have some fun. We've got a pretty good glare going on right there, don't we? We'll try to avoid that spot. How's everybody doing today? Motivational vibes, nomad. Hello, hello. Glad you guys are here. How are y'all doing today? So what time do you normally get off work, Nomad? I know last time you missed because you were working. I like it. Motivational. Just hanging loose, man. Being chill. Look at that. Moving towards your calmness. Moving towards peace. Away from drama. Drama has to go. Oh, okay. So I'm lucky to catch you today, huh? Oh, gotcha. What kind of job do you do that you have the hours that go all over the place? You sound like me. I work whenever I want to. And whenever the clients need me. We can leave out that little part. It doesn't sound as glamorous. Sounds more fun to say, oh, I work whenever I want to. Oh, gotcha. After my mom retired from nursing, she worked for a church. One of the things that she did was make bulletins, which comes in handy for me when I'm getting ready to teach a flyer or teach a class. I can say, Mom, can you make me a flyer? She actually likes to do it, and I'm lucky because she doesn't charge me, and I don't know how to do it. I learn everything by the seat of my pants, and if that's one thing I don't have to learn, that saves me. Alicia, hello, hello, welcome. Okay, ladies, friends, we are going to start with some Reiki. Everybody think about, what do you want your Reiki to help you with? What is it you would like help with for your Reiki? It is a nice day outside. 5.5 miles is a lot if you're not used to walking, though. Oh my goodness, I need butter for this finger. There we go. All right, this one ring always stays on. Okay, let's go ahead and start the Reiki. What are y'all going to use your Reiki for? Okay, so we're going to do this till 28 after the hour according to my little computer clock. Mental clarity, I like it. Ooh, what kind of project, Alicia? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, best version, you snuck in on me. Hi there, we're doing Reiki right now, my friend. What are you using Reiki for? Yeah, it's been a long time since you've had any Reiki. You have had Reiki from me before, haven't you? A long time ago? I'm thinking you did. Using LED lights as seed beads? Ooh, hard on the eyes, man. Hard on the eyes. Wabanaki Confederacy Seal. Is Wabanaki an Indian tribe? I haven't heard of that name before, but it sounds very much like Native American to me. Candles, I was thinking for sure. I wasn't sure about Reiki sessions. Three more minutes of Reiki, y'all. Oh, okay. I like it. I don't know too many tribes. I could count the tribes that I know on one hand. I know the Athabascans that were outside of my military base in Alaska on the Yukon River. And what tribe was my medicine woman friend? She lived in Canada. I never actually met her. Nishnabek. Her tribe was Nishnabek. I used to date a guy that said he was Mescalera Apache. Yeah, I think that's about it. I only know the ones I've interacted with directly. Some Nishnabek in South Dakota? Or are we talking about the Mescalera Apache? I think of them as Arizona, New Mexico, but I could be wrong. We have 2 more minutes of Reiki. Somebody's really pulling Reiki throughout their whole body. I don't know if it's somebody here now or somebody who finds this video later, but I think somebody's got like the flu or coming down with something or something because their whole body's pulling Reiki. Oh, you don't remember which tribes are there? I know there's some there because I've seen documentaries, but until I actually meet a person from the tribe. You're from South Dakota Motivational? Yours is your legs. Oh, no, you're saying that you're getting Reiki for your whole body. I get it. And you too, Alicia? Oh my gosh, you guys are both starting to come down with something. That's not cool. Hello there, Maria. Welcome, welcome. You changed your name on me because I remember that pink hand. You had a much shorter name before. I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, that's what this would feel like then when you're feeling really gross sick. Ugh. I had somebody get in my car when I was driving the Lyft this morning that was sniffling and sniffling and sniffling. And I carry a roll of toilet paper with me because I like toilet paper better than Kleenex. I think it's softer. You get less of a raw nose. So I passed it back to him. Do you need that? What's this for? I was like, your nose, for your nose, baby. I didn't say it like that. He was with his girlfriend. I'm sure that she gave him a look in the back seat. You know the looks we have. Yes, they are. I wipe my car down every day. Sometimes I don't have time between rides because the ride comes in and as soon as I drop somebody off, I'm on the way to pick the next one up. But it at least gets wiped down every single day after I'm done driving. So it starts fresh the next day. Yeah. I like to keep it nice and clean. And then in between rides, like I'll air it out too. I'll have those back windows all the way down, no matter how cold it is. Get some fresh air in there, push out any germs. It was like 24 degrees outside, and I pull up and I pick up this guy to go to the airport. I think he was a pilot or something. Back windows are all the way down. I had forgotten to roll them up when I came around this corner on the block. Sure, he thought I was a wackadoo. I was like, oh, you can do whatever you want to with those windows if you want to roll them up. He's like, thank you. All right, we've gone over on our Reiki, but I kind of did that a little bit on purpose just because if y'all ain't feeling good, a little extra Reiki won't hurt you. Of course, if you guys would like a real Reiki session that's just focused on you and that lasts an hour, you can find out how to do that on my website. That's just a little micro session when we do that little tiny bit. You're quite welcome, Motivational. I want to say that your real name is Kay. Am I thinking right? Are you Kay or are you? Yeah, I think you're Kay. Someone else is Annette, but I think her handle rhymes with Annette almost or something. My little brain exercises don't always work the way they're supposed to. Ooh, look at that. Now I'm feeling all good about myself right now. Okay, you guys know the drill. We've got to start with our best manifestation advice for the next 24 hours. Everybody think about what do you want to manifest? And it doesn't have to be something that can happen over the next 24 hours. If you want to manifest something bigger, this can still be your advice for the next step over the next 24 hours too. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. All right, let's see what we have. See what we have. See what we have. Oh, yeah. I take vitamin C before I start my day, along with fish oil and turmeric. Look at that. We're starting off with the lovers. And then we have the Knight of Swords. I'm trying to be careful of that glare. I know it's getting close. There we go. And we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Ooh, what's that? What is that about? Don't be naggy to your man. That's what that's about. Don't be a nag. No, Queen of Wands, seriously, when she's in reverse, she can be somebody who's a little bit pushy, a little bit overbearing. She can be a nag, actually. Let's see what our best advice is, though. Haven't really translated it. I'm just playing so far. Okay, so first card is the Lovers. Lovers does talk about some kind of partnership that we're working on manifesting. Don't go chasing waterfalls. You might fall and hit your head. Hopefully it's deep. Hopefully it's deep. All right, so the Lovers, talking about some kind of partnership here. Successful partnership too. A lot of people take the Lovers and they immediately put it into romantic partnership. That is not necessarily the case. In fact, the ancient meaning of this card was about a decision, and it would show a man and a blonde hair and a brown haired girl on either side of him, and he had to choose which one's better. We all know blondes have more fun, but which one's better? So, Lovers is not necessarily about romantic love. It can be about decisions. In this case, I feel like we are talking about some kind of partnership. Can be business partnership or in our personal life. We have the Knight of Swords. This says, with whatever this partnership is, and this is a successful partnership. This is not one that's on the rocks or where you're disagreeing with somebody. This talks about communication. And this communication is about somebody who's coming in and trying to be bossy and tell y'all what to do with that partnership. Seems like it could be mother-in-law energy to me. No, it does not have to be. It could even be like a boss from corporate office coming into town, trying to tell you and your boss how to run the show when you've got the best numbers of everybody in the company, but they don't know that. They're not smart enough to acknowledge that because she's bossy, she's overbearing. So it looks to me like best manifestation advice has to do with dealing with somebody who can be bossy or overbearing. You want to actually have a conversation with somebody you're partnered up with. You're both dealing with this person, and it helps for y'all to be on the same page when it comes to dealing with that person. You know, people say that I've only had one mother-in-law because my second husband, his mom had passed way before I met him. But my first mother-in-law, she was amazing. I loved her. I just loved her. And I'll tell you what, I told somebody this the other day too, and it's been a long time since I've been married to my first husband, but she loved me more than she loved him. I think they were just as traumatized by the divorce as I was. Her and my father-in-law. They came over and visited him one time, and then they called me afterwards to apologize for not coming to see me. They just said, well, it just felt really awkward, and they really didn't know what they should do, and they didn't know if I would even want to see them because, I was they were his parents, and it was a whole big thing. I did get lucky. I get lucky all the time, though. All right, so let's see. Let's do some readings. Who has a question here today? If you got a question, put it in the chat. If you just want a message from Spirit, put that in the chat. Let's start knocking out some perspective, some Spirit perspective. Let's see. Alicia. She was waiting, man. Message from Spirit for Alicia. And let's see, Desiree, message from Spirit. And in the month of this March, well, one thing that's coming is the date March 4th. It's a good day to take leadership of your own life. Number 3 will be K. Scott used to always be into March 4th. He always liked things where the months and the numbers made some kind of name. He had a whole handful of them throughout the day. We would run into them. And he would talk to me about them as if I was supposed to recognize them. I did not always. Boobity-doo-doo. Boobity-doo-doo. Boobity-doo. Thank the Lord, says everyone that doesn't have a toddler that's trying to put them to bed at a decent hour and they're looking outside going, but Mommy, it's not dark. I can't go to sleep. I don't have any toddlers, but I do remember those days. Alicia, message from Spirit. Let's see what you got. I can remember being the one looking outside. There was this little lady. Her name was, what was her name? Mrs. Zeisler. Lived right next door to us when I was a little girl before we moved out to the farm. And my bedroom was on the second floor in the house. In that bedroom, the window looked out over Mrs. Zeisler's lawn. Well, Mrs. Zeisler was probably at least 84, maybe older. We didn't have quite so many plastics back then. Of course, this would have been in the 70s. And I could look out, and when her grandkids came, I could see her grandkids playing outside after 8 o'clock because it was still full daylight. And I was supposed to be in bed. I would stand over by the window and watch those grandkids playing and think about how ridiculous it was that I was supposed to be sleeping. Yep. Come home before the streetlights come on. Now, my parents were a little stricter than that, but a lot of my friends, that was the rule. Alicia, message from Spirit. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. After we moved out to the country, we became latchkey kids. I don't know if I can avoid that glare. And once we did that, I was the one making supper, so I had to be home before dark. And there was no streetlights either. Best version. Okay, so Avneet has a question. Layla, hello. Did I tell you guys that I had a lady the other day? Avneet's question made me think of this. She told me that I predicted when her house would sell, and I was only 1 day off on my prediction. I definitely had chores to do. I was mama number 2 in those days. Maybe that's why my body never wanted kids. My body was like, yeah, we're done. When we moved out of the house, we were done. I took it hard for a really long time, but I can laugh about it now. All right, so let's look at our situation here for Alicia. We have the Ace of Swords showing up. Yep. Trying to see it in the camera, and it's all weird. Ace of Swords, which is covered by... How can I get this here without a glare? The Chariot. Make the glare go away. Thank you. My thumb's big. But there's a horse's head under there. Where's my camera? Jeez, what a clown. What a clown y'all are watching. Who is she? Holy Toledo. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords and we have the Chariot. This just talks, Alicia, about this, that you have some kind of new understanding that helps you not only with one area of your life, but you can see how it's kind of universal and it helps you with a lot of other areas as well. Okay? So, you should have made bets. That would be fun. All right. And I'm going to say that this understanding has to do with something around travel or a trip or a mode of transportation with that Chariot there. Okay? Now, let's look at your best advice or heads up. That glare just takes so much of my space right there. Ugh. All right, best advice or heads up. We have the Ten of Swords coming up in reverse. This says, this ain't over yet. So if you were thinking that, oh, I have this understanding, but now it's too late because the opportunity's gone by. Nay, nay. This isn't over yet. Why do we have judgment right behind that? I don't understand that. This is funny. So you do have this understanding now. You guys know I say now, even though it might be past, present, or future because it's on the table in front of me. But we see that you've got this understanding now. There's something that's not over here, but now that you have this understanding, whenever it comes back up, you're like, no, count me out. I've got other things I want to do. And look at you, the Knight of Swords. Look how you're just kind of like running away like, I've got other things to do, man. I'm catching that motorcycle. I'm jumping on there. I'm going out for a ride on a nice sunny day. My pet bird is coming along with me to be on lookout to make sure I don't do anything stupid around any mountain curves. Life is good. I don't need to go back to this anymore. I'm kind of improvising a little bit. I don't even know if you do motorcycles. But this talks about the idea of going off and having a conversation really with somebody else about something completely different because now you understand this thing. And for whatever reason, once you understand it, you're like, oh, yeah, I don't think that's all about me. I think I want to do something different. Okay. The staircase spiral. I know, isn't that cool? The Hierophant in this deck has a staircase too. Let's find it. I think he's cool too. I like this deck. Of course, I like all my decks. And you know me, we're going to chit-chat too along the way. I'm not all about just taking care of business. This is my wind down time as much as it is you guys'. Trust me. Trust you me. Now, when we do a pro reading, then I'm all about business. Right now, we're just chilling. Where did the Hierophant go? Watch him be like the last card in this stack. I'm going to be like, what the? Yeah, he didn't want to be seen. Where is he? Here he is. See, look at those stairs, like up to heaven. So that's the Hierophant rather than the Pope. Which actually, this guy reminds me, there was a guy on my card today that was a pastor. He was a Presbyterian pastor that looked like he was like 22 years old. He had to be older than that. But this guy kind of reminds me of that. Yep. All right, so we've got one reading out of the way. Me and my ADHD mind are about ready to move on to the next person. I'm so lucky y'all put up with me. I really am. Okay, Desiree. After this, Kay, you're in the batter's box. Desiree, are you still here? Oh, thank you, Layla. I'm going to put you on the list, honey bunny. Desiree. And then my batter's box person, Kay. Kay, are you still around? Oh, that's because I love you guys. We're in a competition to see who can love who first. I really do. Like I've always said, like I have the best clients ever. That's just a fact. Desiree is here. Okay, here we go. Desiree, message from Spirit. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Let's see what we got. Desiree. Oh, look, we just talked about the Hierophant too. That's interesting. Okay, let's see what else we have. Boopity doo doo. Oh, we got a repeat on the Chariot, but he's in reverse. Oh, we got a repeat on this too. Isn't that interesting? We must have some similar energy floating around out in those asteroids and stuff. All right, Ms. Desiree, we're starting off with the Hierophant in reverse. What I'm feeling whenever I touch this card is there's something here that you're not very committed to. I feel like other people think that you should be committed to whatever this is, but you're not that committed to it. Why? Look, this tells us why you're not. You're not because it's not the right time for it in your life anyway right now. Just not the right timing. Okay? Now, let's look at your best advice or heads up. Ooh, baby. Did someone propose to you and you're like, no, man, your body odor, can't handle it. Is that what happened here? That's what it looks like to me. Looks like to me somebody proposed and you were like, you might have a good job, good life. I don't know about this. Can't do it. That's what that looks like. Okay, so something you don't want to do because it's not the right timing. Your best advice or heads up, stay independent, self-sufficient. That's my 9 of Pentacles right there. Look how happy she is. Do you know why she's happy, honey? Let me get it under the camera. I'll tell you why she's happy. She's happy because she doesn't have to make meat and potatoes for somebody every flippin' day. If she wants watermelon and salad for supper, she can have it. That's why she's happy. Now, Chariot in reverse. This basically says, don't be partnering up with nobody. When my Chariot's right side up, besides talking about transportation, it can also talk about successful marriage, successful teamwork, successful partnership. Since we've got this partnership teamwork going here, I'm going to say this is saying, don't do it, man. That Chariot's going to come off the rails. Look, it's in reverse. It's all flipped over, just like that poor Delta flight in Canada. Don't do it. Now, Ace of Swords in reverse. This says, pull up your big girl panties and tell the person, I can't partner up with you, man. I don't want to end up upside down on a tarmac somewhere. I got to stay independent and do my own thing. I'm sorry, I know you were looking for a lot more, but it's just not the right time for me. It's time for you to spit it out. Let that poor one-horse chariot go on all by himself and look for another horse. That's what I say about that. All right, K, and after K we have Avni in the batter's box. For real. All right, K's here. Okay, best message from Spirit for... No, Kay had a question. Let me scroll up and find that question. Where's my mouse? Okay, where's the question? We've been fiddle farting around a lot, guys. I don't know. What's coming for Kay in the month of March? What's coming for Kay? You know, that just sounds bad. That just makes me think of like a horror show. What's coming for Kay? You're being stalked. I don't like that wording at all. We're going to change that. What would you like Kay to be ready for during the month of March, please? we're going to look at a couple of things here. Couple of things. No time for pity parties. Ooh, 2 4s in a row. Man, that glare is just huge. Ooh, 3 swords in a row. Crazy. All right, 2 situations that we're talking about here. Okay, so this first one, 4 of Cups in reverse. This talks about the idea of something happened that's disappointing, but you're not letting it slow you down or hold you back. You're looking at the opportunities that are open to you and moving forward when that card comes up in reverse, right? Now, those opportunities lead you towards being the Queen of Pentacles, which means you feel like you have everything that you need to do the things that you want to do. And that allows you to make preparations. I think you're making preparations for some kind of trip. You may be planning for some kind of trip, or you may actually be going on a trip. If you're going on a trip with that 9 of Wands, I think it's a little bit longer than just like a weekend trip. This would be a little bit longer than that. All right. Now, let's look at your second thing. All swords here. So swords talks about thoughts and words. Ooh, where are you going to go? Where are you going? We want to know. I can't remember where you are right now, if you're even in Colorado, but I want to know where you're going. I want to know both. Oh, yay. That sounds like lots of fun. Are you going to come back? Or are you waiting to see what happens in this country before you decide? Right? I'm just checking. Just checking. All right, let's see. You know, I bet you they have internet in the Dominican Republic. We could still talk, you know. All right, so here's your other thing. Interesting. You have the 7 of Swords. This talks about sneaking away from something. I don't know if I want to say sneaking. I think there's like a bad connotation with that. But this is leaving something quietly without blowing up any bridges. Thank you for all the laughter. Whoever's sending that, that's so cute. Let's see. So leaving something on the down low, kind of. All right. Got the 10 of Swords. Whatever this is that you're leaving on the down low, you ain't coming back. Whatever this is you're leaving on the down low, you're bringing it to an end. You're just like sneaking away from it and letting it fizzle out quietly. Okay. And then we've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Gotcha. So you've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. I don't think you're... Yeah. I don't think you'll be talking to this person again. Or if you do... Ooh. Well, I don't think you'll be reaching out to this person again. I do think they will be reaching out to you. So if you want to talk about talking, that would be talking. They'll be reaching out to you. Maybe just texting. I don't know. You're not really going to want to hear from them, though. And I think they're going to be kind of mean. Wouldn't even pay him no mind. He's going to be kind of mean. But I believe you when you say you wouldn't pay him no mind. I had an ex like that, too, that, like, I actually had to end it with him. And I'm usually not the one to end things, honestly, guys. That's just usually... Things have to be extreme for me to end things. I am loyal. I am way too loyal for my own good. But I did have to end it with this one guy. And he reached out to me a few times after, like, radio silence. And he was mean when he reached out to me. I was not interested in, like, going back at all anyway. But when he was mean about how he reached out to me and he's trying to blame me for some stuff, I was like, I just had no response. Like I wasn't even going to engage in the fight. You think whatever you want to think, baby. Meanwhile, I'm going to live my life. Mean does not bring people back. Quite welcome on the heads up. Loyalty does come at a price. After a while, you get a little bit scarred. You kind of figure that out. Scarred or scurred, one or the other. I'm a little scarred and scurred. You hope that helps. I don't know if that helps. Because part of me feels guilty because I feel like how we are over here is not really helping the UK any with anything going on there either. Thank God the Nazi party didn't win in Germany. All right, so let's see here. Divine timing. Welcome back. Are you Rhoda? Trying to get all my names straight. All right, so Avani had a question for me. I got to go back and find it. La da 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 da. Way back somewhere. Somewhere. Where is Avani's question? Here we go. I like doing the healing. Thank you. And the manifestation message. So, how soon do I see an agreement outside the court made for the Indian case? That just sounds confusing. It's a case, so that implies to me it should be inside the court. But let's find out. Will there be an agreement outside the court for the Indian case that Avani is thinking about? Will there be an agreement that's come to? Let's ask that first off. Let's not send ourselves down a wild goose chase. You assume things and you get yourself into trouble sometimes. Should not play the other player's side of the tennis court. I'm not sure anything's going to happen outside the court, honey. Look at this. You got the King of Cups, that's a no. Queen of Pentacles, that's a no. Ace of Cups, that's a no. Knight of Swords, that's a no. Two of Wands, that's a yes. Four no's to a yes, that's a no. I don't think it's nothing. No, it's not happening. You would like it to with that King of Cups, you and probably some other people. Looks like somebody's investing some money into it. I don't know if you're investing money into it. Somebody's investing some money into hoping this settlement comes out outside of court, but Ace of Cups in reverse, the truth comes out about something here. Then there's all kinds of conversation. With this being the Knight of Swords, this can even be litigation. This can be a young lawyer. And then the Two of Wands comes out. The Two of Wands says you're going to have a choice. You are going to have a choice. The choice may be about settling outside of court. If it is, I don't think you're going to take it. Well, I don't know. Maybe it can be like Germany where Elon Musk supports them and JD Vance does, and then everybody goes, oh, if they support them, that must be bad. Maybe we should vote for something else. You're quite welcome. Sorry, because I know that's not what you wanted to hear. All right, who's up next? We have Layla. Is Layla still in the room? Infinite. Hello, welcome. How are you? Oh, Divine Timing has a question. I almost missed that. Okay, so I think that's Rhoda. Rhoda, if that's not you, then you're going to have to tell me your real name, but otherwise, I'm going to assume that's you. Message for Layla. Everything is overwhelming. Where do you live, Layla? Thank you. I am fantastic. Thank you. You're in Australia. Everything's overwhelming in Australia, too. Is there not one peaceful place in the world that we can go and just be like, pretend that the world is not going on crazy everywhere else? Dang it. I guess we have to pray. We just have to keep on praying. Layla. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Boopity doo doo. Boopity doo. It is all nuts. Well, we're supposed to, according to Indian astrology, or maybe I should say sidereal astrology, we're going to have, at least this country, because we have our Pluto return. I don't know if this is true for everywhere or not, maybe. But I'm kind of just overwhelmed with what's going on in my country, much less everything else right now, to be really honest. And I know that sounds terrible, but at least in my country, we're supposed to have huge civil unrest like we had in 1968 and 69 when we had civil rights movements and Rosa Parks and kids, little black girls going to white schools for the first time. And, JFK got shot. Martin Luther King got shot. I mean, we're supposed to be having some times. Yep. And all in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, which means two things are happening. Some people are going wackadoo, and some other people are turning spiritual, which makes me think the wackadoo people do something really stupid that makes everybody else turn spiritual. I hope we're not nomad. I hope we're just expanding the spiral. Because if we're going backwards, I'll cry. I've worked way too hard to get this far, just in the time I've been alive, much less the generations before me of females. Okay, Layla, let's take a peek. Oh, I don't need to pick these up. Two of Swords talks about a decision. You're making a decision. You may feel like a little shaky on it, like you can't really see where it's going or see all the details. You still have to make the decision. Look at the crows there. Crows share information. And crows also symbolize intuition, going back and forth between worlds. So you may have to make a decision. You may have to follow your gut on this decision here. Now, this is a decision that you're making because you want to do something that improves either your financial situation or your health with that Page of Pentacles. Could be either or. Teresa, hello, hello. Yep, I'm going forward. Now, Layla. And anybody getting a piggyback? Oh, look, we have the Hierophant again. Look at that, guys. That's only, well, I showed it to you once. It's come up now twice. So, this talks about advice or heads up. This talks about making a commitment to getting away from drama and chaos, maybe any kind of psychic vampires, people that are taking more out of you than they're replenishing, to come into a place where you can find some peace and you can breathe a little bit. And then that's going to put you in this position where you feel like you have enough for all the things you want to do. But you have to be really committed to getting away from the drama. There's something going on in your life apparently that is like keeps sucking you back into the drama. You've probably tried to leave the drama before. It may even be family. And something just keeps like sucking you back in like a tide pool or something. And so you have to be really committed to get yourself out of that drama so that you can have this stability here of the Queen of Pentacles. Huge commitment. And look at this, like you're making this decision based on your gut, based on your instinct, because you're looking for that security and stability. Commit to keeping it one foot in front of the other. Remember, Knights of Pentacles, which are the action of Pentacles, those actions of security, they are the slowest moving knight in the deck. And so if this goes a little slow, don't give up on it. Just keep doing one foot, one foot, one foot, one foot. And then when you look back, you'll be like, wow, I can't believe I came that far. She says, spot on. Okay. You despise drama. Everybody thinks they despise drama. Most of us have some version of drama that we like. Some people like a possessive boyfriend or girlfriend. Some people like the drama of investing in the stock market and then watching it go up and down. I like the drama of my games on my tablet. I'm not hugely invested in physical drama. Okay, Rhoda had a question for me. You're quite welcome. It's your turn right now. Excuse me. You have your own little corner where you can stay out of the drama. She's the no drama mama. Okay, I feel like somebody else did not ask a question. Infinite, I'm pretty sure you haven't asked a question. If there's anybody else that hasn't asked a question or said they want a message from Spirit, now is the time to do that. Cheryl Ford, hello, hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here, my friend. All right, so Rhoda, what was Rhoda's question? No, you didn't miss it, honey. I just got to scroll back for it. Work party. Is the work party a good idea? Let's find out for Rhoda. Work party tonight a good idea for Rhoda? Is that a good thing for her to do? Boopity doo doo, boopity doo doo. I'm hearing you're pretty tired. Oh, look, look. Our first card is the work card. Spirit hears us. Okay. I mean, this is really a tie. You can do either one that you want. I think that you should. I think that you should, even though it's a tie. So we start off with work, so Spirit knows what we're talking about here. Page of Cups in reverse. This talks about expressing. This gives you a chance to express to other people how much you appreciate them. Empress card just talks about that by going to this allows you to manifest or create something that you want to create in work. The Seven of Wands coming up in reverse where you can see it out of the glare. Seven of Wands in reverse talks about this idea that it does make you feel a little vulnerable. You might have a little social anxiety or something, or you may feel like you have a tight schedule. I don't know, but somehow this makes you feel a little bit vulnerable. And with the Ten of Wands, this basically says, it's okay to let down your responsibilities sometimes. Not every day, but sometimes you can let yourself off the hook. I would go with these cards, although technically it's a tie. Whatever you choose will be fine. I would go. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, we just got a whole new list. Alrighty, so your body needed that walk. Oh my gosh, especially with the sunlight too, right? So Teresa's up next with a message from Spirit. Teresa White. Did I ever tell you guys I used to know a lady named Lily White? And her parents did not give her that name. She married into that name. So Cheryl also wants a message from Spirit. I love it, Infinite. Keep on imagining that. Do you want me to look at anything for you tonight, Infinite? I would. I think you'll have a good time. Yep. And she was the sweetest person I knew. This was back when I was a holy roller, way before I was psychic. And she was the sweetest person I knew. If she didn't agree with you, she wouldn't tell you. She'd just start praying for you. I had been baptized when I was a baby as a Catholic, and I was going to a Pentecostal church. She was going to a Baptist church, and I was feeling like I needed to be baptized, but I was fighting it because, the Catholics teach you once baptized, and always a Catholic. And I had talked to her about it. Well, I didn't know. She started praying about it. So, like 3 weeks later, I get baptized. I come back home, go over and visit her the next day and tell her I got baptized. And she just like jumped up out of her recliner at like 84, 86 years old, something like that. Literally jumped up out of her recliner and started jumping up and down. Oh, honey, I'm so happy. I was just praying and praying and praying. So she lived up to her name. Nomad. Nomad's got the jokes, right? Okay. Infinite. You're Annette. Okay. Annette. Money, money, money. She wants to know about the money. Okay, so we got 2 messages and a money question. After this, Amista's going to have to chill. Right? Okay, so Teresa. Let's take a peek. Teresa White. Message from Spirit. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. And you guys know I do private readings if you want them. I will knock your socks off. I will knock your socks off. I love reading. Okay, now we're out of the glare, but we can't see the bottom cards. Maybe you're not supposed to have a job. Do you know what house Uranus is in your chart, Annette? Boo ba da doo doo, Teresa. I have fun hanging out with y'all too. Check your chart and see which house Uranus is in. Because, like, my house, Uranus is in the 6th house. I go crazy if I have like an office job or if I have any kind of job that's repetitive. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. That Uranus won't let me. So there are other things that would tell you whether you can work for somebody else or not, but that's one thing I would check. You're ruled by Uranus. Well, Uranus is all about independence and high tech. You should be working for yourself. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Nomad. Me too. I got to be talking to different people about different things every day. That's why I like reading and mentoring and doing Reiki. It all keeps it all fresh and spicy. All right. Who is this for? This is for Teresa White. So we're starting off with temperance. This talks about finding your balance, finding your harmony. Sometimes this can actually talk about healing. For me, when our whole bodies are working, all the cells are in harmony with all the other cells. That's perfect health. So it can be that. But since we've got this covered by the 8 of Wands, this is talking about a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth messages having to do with this harmony. Ooh, I just touched this and it said patience. So there's a lot of communication going back and forth. Maybe this communication is about being patient, maybe some of it. But whatever this communication is, you're having to be patient about it. But these are quick, short bursts of communication. This is like text messages, short emails, short phone calls, that type of thing. All right, best advice or heads up. Oh, ho, ho. Who is this for? This is for Teresa. Teresa, do you have a couple of guys interested in you? And neither one of them actually wants to commit? What is going on here? We've got a Knight of Cups coming up here. This is going to be somebody who is maybe a little bit younger, or at least a little bit more naive than you are, which means they can do pie in the sky. They're like all about the Neptune, Venus and Neptune. You know, they've got the heart light shining all the time. No, this is something you're aware of. This is something you're aware of with all this communication. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. But you're being patient. Why are you being patient when there's two different guys? That makes no sense to me. If you have two different guys, you've got your pick. You don't have to be patient. Maybe there's one you like more than the other. I don't know. And then look at this. We've got a King of Cups coming up next in reverse. Now, my King of Cups is my mature love, but he's pissed off. He's angry. He might be even, no, depressed is more my King of Wands type of guy. Kind of has an anger issue. That's what I'm going to say. So you've got a guy that's probably a little bit closer to your age that has anger issues. No wonder you're being patient, because who wants that? Ugh. You're just wishing this dude would grow up. But you do have your choice between them. Maybe you're waiting for this one to grow up, and maybe you're waiting for this one to quit being so angry. Maybe neither one of them are doing it. And so you just keep on waiting, keep on talking to them, waiting to see what happens, because you've got your choice. If you're not dating anybody at the moment, then this could be like a son who's all like sweet, sweet, sweet. You know how some sons are with their moms? I don't know about that. None of my brothers are like that with my mom, but I've seen it. And you could have somebody else, like maybe a dad or maybe a significant other, or maybe just a grumpy boss around that's just angry. I don't know. Does not have to be dating, but definitely you're having to be patient about some kind of communication. And there's two guys here for sure. One's very sweet and one's just, the word I'm hearing starts with an A and ends with an E and has whole as the second syllable, if you know what I mean. And you have a choice to make between these two with this card. I don't know. I don't know who these people are. I think you're waiting on both of them to get their stuff together. They ain't doing it. Watch this time tomorrow. Teresa will be like, oh my God. You won't believe what happened to Amista. Right? That's your closest living relative? All of my relatives are at least 800 miles away from me. And that's about the way I get to survive. I'm the black sheep in my family. Imagine that. Catholic family, only girl, turned into a psychic. How could I be the white sheep? I like it, Teresa. All right, we're up to Cheryl. Okay, Miss Cheryl. Message from Spirit for Miss Cheryl. Yep. Black sheep, scapegoat, whatever you want to call it. I always go back home thinking, you know, I've done enough self-work. They can't get to me. Wrong answer. Every time. Every time I come back, I've done some crying. I am very unique, that's for sure. All right, so Cheryl, let's see what we have for you, my friend. Cheryl. Oh my gosh, I was talking about crying. Look at that. What? These two cards don't even go together. You guys remember that Sesame Street game? 3 of these things belong together. One of these things just doesn't fit in. That's what this reminds me of. Not that we have four things, but you know what I mean. They don't really belong together. That's going to be fun to interpret. Here's this part. This is Cheryl. Cheryl, you're giving me a workout tonight, honey. All right. What is going on? Okay, this is so. Oh, so when you said where's the match, I'm thinking, yeah, what would be the match? Ooh, the Nine of Swords would be the match. Nine of Swords ain't here. This is so crazy. Okay, I'll tell you why it's crazy. Maybe when I start talking about it, I'll start figuring this out. But we've got the Three of Swords, which you can see quite plainly. Like, I don't even have to describe that. That's heartache or heartbreak, obviously, right? I mean, the way she looks, she's like totally mourning, like somebody just kicked the bucket or something. Like, ugh. It's like horrid. Now, look at this card. It's the Sun. And the Sun is a good card. I consider it a good card, whether it's right side up or upside down. Either way, if it's right side up, it talks about us doing something productive that makes us feel happy and satisfied without anybody breathing down our neck or looking over our shoulder. When it's in reverse, it just means we're doing something wonderful and we're doing it along with somebody else. But still, nobody is setting any kind of guidelines for us. We're just doing what we want to do. So how does that reconcile with that? That's where I have to get. Okay? So. Nomads, our in-house herbologist person. Go drink some milk with some vitamin D in it because you need some sunlight. Actually, that's not a bad interpretation. It could be that sunlight helps you heal because actually being in the sunlight does put us in a better mood. I don't think that's really where I'm going with that interpretation, but that's a pretty good interpretation, Desiree. I'm proud of you. And I have a little story. Back when I used to run an ice cream truck, which I did for about 3.5 years, I was an ice cream man, running around ringing the bell and making all the noise, selling ice cream to the kids out the window. I had an ice cream truck tan. So like this arm was really tan. This arm was really white. This side of my face was really tan. This side of my face was not. And so that's awesome, Cheryl. It's been a good day for it. And so I decided to go to a tanning booth to kind of even it out. Well, first of all, I have to tell you a little sideline story. When I came in and I told the lady that I wanted to even it out, she was such a witch. Of course, she had like like you could tell she had just been tanning so much her skin was almost leather anyway. But she looks at me and she goes, "You don't have anything to even out." And I was like, "You don't even know how easy I burn." So anyway, I would only be in the tanning booth for like a minute or two because look at me, I'm white. Like I have a lot of Irish in me. I am white. This does not tan. It burns. It freckles. It freckles, but it doesn't tan or it burns. Like I turn the color of a lobster. So 2 minutes in a tanning booth was all I could actually do. So that's what I would do. But I would come out of those tanning booths feeling so good. It was almost like a high just from the light. So in the wintertime, if you ever like feel like you're suffering from not having enough sunlight, hit up a tanning booth real quick. It'll help you. Anyway, let's get back to this reading. So we have some kind of heartbreak roughness showing up here, but we've got the Sun. Oh, I like it. This is interesting because whatever's going on with this heartache or this heartbreak, you and your friends are getting together and doing something about it. Are you guys going out and slashing somebody's tires that pissed you off? What's happening here? I'm just joking. That would not be a Sun card. But you're getting together and you're doing something about this heartache or this heartbreak. To me, this could even be like in the times we're living in now, like maybe something is really upsetting you and your friends are getting together and you're organizing a protest. I was joking about slashing the tires. Cheryl would never. All right, so anyway, let's look at your best advice or heads up about this. whatever this is that you're doing together with other people to help you get over the heartache or the heartbreak, whatever this is, Spirit's basically advising this is something that's just like spur of the moment. Don't put a whole lot of planning into it. Just whenever the opportunity comes up, that's when you jump on it. Seven of Swords in reverse basically talks about this thing that comes up that you're being advised to jump on is going to be something that allows you to go back to something that you left before without burning any bridges. Okay. And then we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Well, not in reverse, but it's interesting because I'm not really picking a bad meaning off of it. I really think this has to do with the idea of talking to people about something that you've gone through, something that was disappointing that you've gone through, in order to actually help them to go through it better. And so you could be at a conference talking. There could be other speakers speaking as well. Or maybe your church asked you to get up and say a few words or something. I don't know. But there's something going on here where you're sharing your story. I'm hearing about your dark night of the soul. You're not the only one sharing, not with this card. And there's also plenty of people benefiting. And this is really saying just don't overthink it. Just allow the words to just flow right out as they need to. And I think this walking back is this idea of rethinking about these things again, because you probably have tried not to think about them for a while. Thinking about them again because you know that by other people hearing your story, they can benefit and they can make some better choices for themselves moving forward if they hear somebody else's story and it kind of sticks with them. That's what I'm picking up on that. And only about half of that was on the cards. The rest of that stuff was just coming through psychically, but so I can't really show you how I know all of that with the cards. Okay, so that was for Cheryl. Boy, we have gone from boyfriends to protests to juggling boyfriends to asshole boyfriends. What's next? All right, Annette's next. We have a question about money, honey. All right. Let me scroll back up and find this. Okay. Oh, so you have tried starting businesses. So, infinite. Oh my gosh. Financial is going to be over. Okay. So here's my thing. Financial issues per se are never over because the more money we have, the more money we spend. Flat out. But I get it about living on the edge. How do I want to ask this question? Here's the thing. If you've been living like this for years and years and years and that, this is more about a mindset than about circumstances. Okay? And when you say things like money is scarce and when you say things like it's really bad, that gives us a little bit of insight into how you're seeing things and how you're looking at things. And you're looking at the problem that's right in front of your face. A money problem is like, it is a more challenging problem to deal with because it interacts with so many different parts of our lives. But you have to start working on ways to change the mindset. Right. Right. I totally get that. And, like, no judgment here because I was too. And I'm really, like, I'm working on that on myself and have been for a while. It's kind of like peeling an onion, and I'm like, it seems like every time I level up in some way or another, then I kind of fall back into that old thing, and I have to like work on the next level of allowing myself to be worth bringing in this much money or taking care of this many things. So, yes. So here's a game for you that I want you to start playing. I want you to start pretending that you've always got $100 in your pocket. $100 bill, just in your pocket. If you don't have pockets, in your bra. If you're not wearing a bra, in your purse. I don't care. If you have dreads, tuck it in a dread if you don't wear a bra. I don't know. But imagine that you have $100 that you're carrying around with you all the time. And then, whenever you go into a place and you see something that you think, oh, that would be nice to have that, then just think, well, I've got $100 in my pocket. I could have it if I really wanted it. What's the best way for me to spend my money? And that allows you to be open to the idea that you've got money to spend, and also to the idea of being wise with your wealth. Right? So just imagine you're carrying a $100 bill in your wallet. Or if that's not enough, imagine you're carrying $500 in your wallet. But do something that's going to reset that subconscious for you. Okay? I'm going to look at your best advice. I'm not going to look at when this is going to break because I think that's totally free will, but I am going to look at your best advice. And you know what? Money comes to you so easily. So easily. Money overtakes you no matter what you do. You know why money comes to you? Money comes to you because it knows that you are going to use it well. Money is your friend. Money is your friend. It overtakes you. And it overtakes you because you are who you are and because you do what you love to do. And you make a ridiculously good living just doing what you love to do. And money can't help itself. Once it gets just a little bit close to you, it can't help but come into your wallet or into your account. Money is drawn to you like iron filings to a magnet. Money flows through your accounts like the creek flows through the creek bed. Never-ending supply. It's always circulating. Why can't it circulate through your accounts? No reason for it not to. It just overtakes you. Everywhere you go, no matter what you do. I don't know if I even want to pull cards. I think we've pretty much got our message here. Affirmations helped me a lot when I was getting started. I'll tell you a story, because stories always help too. Yep. So let me tell you a story. When I first started reading cards, by the way, Annette, I'm checking you off because we talked about your stuff. When I first started reading cards, I had a perfectly good job. It didn't pay a lot, but it paid enough. I had decent benefits. Everybody at work liked me. I always got good reviews. I got along well with everybody. I was kind of the mother hen in the building that I worked at. I was admin support staff for all the guys in an assembly plant that made some construction supplies. And so anytime those guys needed anything, they would come to me. We had a lot of temp workers. Sometimes they would come to me and they would say, man, I need some dental work done, but I don't have insurance yet. And I would look up and I found out where there was a school for dental work that's, maybe about an hour away, but they would work on these guys for free. And so I told them about stuff like that. They just came to me. So well, I don't know what to tell you about that, Infinite. So anyway, I was the mother hen there. And it was a good job. I liked all my people. And I could feel it. You know how you feel a change coming in? I could feel it. There was this change coming in. I knew there was. And I knew there was because I just had this restlessness. I knew that I wasn't going to be pushing a pencil forever. And I knew that I was really helping people with the readings. And so the company started falling on hard times. And so they cut back hours and cut back hours and cut back hours. So I was like, at one point, I think I had like 16 hours short every week. And then they brought us back and they let us go like after 6 hours a day or something. But during those 6 hours, I really only had 2 hours worth of work to do because that's just how busy the company was. And so my boss told me, he said, I don't care what you do, but just make yourself look busy. So I started putting together my website. And I got my first website all put together. It wasn't beautiful, but it was put together. And one day I go to the company had gotten back up and running pretty good again. And one day I went to Starbucks with the guy that I was going out with, and I was like, I'm just going to pull cards and see when I'm actually going to give my 2 weeks notice at work. When should I do that? And so I was going to pull cards for like starting with that month all the way through to the end of the year, thinking it would probably be like 8 or 9 months away. And so the podcast is off to a little bit of a slow start. Remind me, I'll tell you about that in a minute. So as I'm pulling these cards, I pull, should I give my 2 weeks notice next month? Because it was like halfway through that month. And so, or no, should I give my 2 weeks notice this month? And there was only like 2 weeks left in the month. And so my cards came up, yes. This is nowhere near a year. You could have knocked me over with a pin feather, man. And so I had tears rolling down my eyes. I was so terrified. I was like, I don't have a client base. How am I going to do this? But I knew that I always regretted it when I didn't listen to the cards. So on the very last day of February, I put in my notice. Last day of February 2013. And on the 15th of March was my very last workday. And yeah, whenever I first started on my own and walked away from that job, the only food that I had more than half the time, was what my boyfriend brought over. We would go to the grocery store and we would fix supper together, and he would make sure we had enough that there would be leftovers. And then he would come around a few days later and we would do it again. Well, then I would say, trust your cards, Infinite. It was scary. And so he took me, we went to this like a ARC or a Goodwill type store. And they had this book called The Secret on the shelf. Well, I didn't know. And so he said, you need this. Take this home and read it. Read it 3 times a day. And then he looked on YouTube, and it was on YouTube for free at that time. I don't know if it is now or not, but it was then. He said, oh, I'm taking the book. You watch this 3 times a day. So I started watching it 3 times a day. Then I found Abraham Hicks. I started listening to Abraham Hicks videos at least 3 times a day. And next thing you know, I was kicking butt. I was doing like 3 readings a day or more. I actually need to get more into my manifesting again. But, it's not all about what the world tells you finances are. It's all about what you can tell yourself your finances are. And if you can tell yourself that you create your own reality, then you can. And I'm preaching to you and I'm preaching to me at the same time. Because I got to get back into it. I fell out of it. Yep. Okay, so what was I going to talk about? Who asked me about something? Oh, the podcast. So I had a lady who I really admire a lot who was going to do the podcast interview. And so we scheduled it. And she forgot that the day before that she had surgery on her face. So she didn't want to be like on a Zoom call for a podcast right after that. She had like some skin cancer removed or something like that. And so she's down for the count for a while. So then I had already contacted like 3 other people though, but everybody else was kind of like, they were dealing with imposter syndrome and they were like, no, I just don't know. So then I contacted my dad because I think he would be great. He definitely has a mission. And Dad was like, yeah. He's like, send me the questions so I can look them over first. So I sent him the questions and I said, all we have to do is schedule now whenever I sent him that email. And he hasn't got back to me to schedule. But I went to another reader's birthday party last night, a reader I met at the store. And I did a little bit of networking. I've got, let's see, Barb, Sherry. There's at least 2 people from that party last night. I would like to do Dawn as well. Hopefully about 5 people actually out of the party, but 2 that I think I can count on to actually do interviews. So hopefully before long. I wanted to get it up by like today or tomorrow, but that is not happening. So progress, but it's just slow progress. I think once I get a routine going and I've got some things out there that people can look at, I think people will agree a little bit more easily and we can start churning it on a regular basis. But for right now, we're just climbing those first steps up the mountain. Exactly, on the persistence. And everything happens for a reason. The first person on that podcast will be the exact right person at exactly the right time. That's how that works. All right, guys. Time for me to take off. I think I've done as much as I can do here tonight. Everybody, thank you for keeping me company. It is you guys' company that makes me enjoy these things. And have a fantastic, wonderful, peaceful evening. And I'll see you guys back next time around. Peace out.